Howdy everybody, it's Amy here from Amy's Sparkly Diamond Painting. We're going to try this. This is my first video since my hand surgery. It's been a week and a day, and I will give you the gross warning if you don't want to see my hand. I'm going to show it real quick, so turn away if you don't like to see things like stitches. It really doesn't look that bad, but I do have whiskers here coming out of my wrist. It's a pretty big cut there. That one's still healing, and I do have stitches there in my thumb. And as you'll notice, my hand is still very swollen, and I am treating it pretty gingerly. My fingers are very swollen and they're mostly numb, so I have very little feeling actually still in this hand, which at this point, a week and a day, it's been kind of frustrating. But that's the way it goes. I'm told that healing can be slow. I am in my mid-50s, so things take a little bit longer, but life goes on, so I have to continue to try to use my hand even though it feels funny, wiggle my fingers, do certain things. So yeah, it's still pretty swollen. But anyway, we're gonna do an unboxing today. But first I have a reminder for those of you that do watch my cross stitch videos. The one where I showed my giant world map recently, I had a giveaway at the end of that, and I haven't picked the winners yet. This is your one last reminder because I really didn't give a deadline for that giveaway. So this is the little bitty seal cross stitch from Painting Fairy that comes with a frame and a Painting Fairy toolkit. And I'm doing a giveaway for this one because I purchased this kit, but I also got one for free. So I'm going to give away the one I purchased here. This again, Painting Fairy cross stitch. It's a little one here, 14 count. You can see it there. But watch that video and learn how to enter. And in a few days, let's see, I think today is the 23rd. How about if we say the 28th? We'll give 5 more days. So on the 28th, I will do the drawing for the giveaway for this cross stitch kit. So let's move on. Here I have an unboxing for Painting Fairy with a couple of items that I purchased myself from a big order a while back. So I don't have the toolkit here, but I've shown it several times. I have 2 cross stitches that I want to share with you. And as far as how my cross stitching is going, not so well at the moment. So my hand, it really is too swollen, and I have a little bit more feeling in my thumb. And this finger, my pinky finger, also has some pretty good feeling, but pinching a needle is still kind of tough, so I've been stitching with my left hand a little bit. I have a cross stitch on my frame, and I've been working on that one with my left hand, so the frame can hold the cross stitch, so I can use my left hand to do a little bit, or my right hand, sorry. Let's get it right. My left hand had the surgery here, so I've been doing some right hand stitching. So I've gotten a little bit done, but it does go really slow. So when I just can't stand it anymore, I will do a little bit of stitching with my right hand, and I'll show that progress here in a few days. It's not enough to really show, but that's why a part of me has had a little trouble wanting to do some unboxings, because I'm frustrated because I see all these beautiful cross stitches that I just can't get to quite yet, but we're getting there. There's hope. So I do get my stitches out on October 30th. I do have an appointment then, and I will talk to the doctor about my progress and all that good stuff. But in the meantime, we're gonna dream. So we're gonna dream about stitching another beautiful butterfly. So the glare was pretty bad there, and I will get this out of this, but we do have the project bag here. We do have the bag that holds the pattern here with a little bit of snap. And again, I am a Painting Fairy affiliate, so if you'd like to purchase any of these items or anything off of Painting Fairy's website, you can use my affiliate link and my discount code below. So here we go. Here's a better view. So I did add a couple more butterflies to my collection now. I think I have 4 of them, and I think I may have an order out there for a 5th. I think there's like 12 in the series. So I am taking my time getting them, but the first 2 that I got, I talked about doing tent stitch or half cross stitch with the double amount of threads for the background, and then the foreground, the butterfly and the flowers, doing full cross with the regular number of threads. So that's what I'm trying to do with these, so I get them done a little bit faster. But this is retro butterfly flower number 9. So with these, they are just full cross, no specialty stitches or anything like that, which even the antenna there, they look like they're thin enough for back stitch, but no, this is big enough that they are full cross stitched throughout the antenna as well. So here's our list of colors here. We have, looks like 42 colors here that are single colors, and then starting at number 43, we have some blended colors, so not too many, 43 through 49. So that's only 7 colors there of blends. So, and again, full cross, I should see the count on this one. I believe I picked them all as 14 count. Let's see. So yes, 14 count, which means 2 strands for the single color and then 1 strand of each for the blended colors. So 49, not too bad. And the symbols, they've been working pretty hard on putting those different colors on them to make them more clear to see, and it looks really good. I don't even see any of those diagonal lines. There's 2 of them here, but they are 2 different colors. Oh, 3 of them there near the bottom. So here's an example of 1 page of the pattern. So you can see they're getting much better at the darker symbols and the different colors so that you can tell them apart a little bit better. What I do if I have something really difficult to tell is I will take a picture with my phone, and for whatever reason my phone can detect the color differences a little bit better, so I'll zoom in and I'll be able to tell. But it doesn't happen that often, especially with the newer printing that they're doing. So let's see what we got here. We have our little packet here to keep our canvas dry. This says vanilla. It's not a very strong scent, so if you are sensitive to scents, it shouldn't be a problem for you. So we do have purple here for our floss cards, as well as a lot of purple colors in this one. But we'll start here with canvas, or the fabric, I should say. And I'm trying to be careful here, not put too much weight on my thumb, but at the same time I really do need to start using my hand a little bit more. So that's why I put myself up to the challenge of recording a video. So there we go. Oh wow, look at this. This is unusual. We have a ton of extra on this side. I could like cut this off and do some Christmas ornaments or something with that. So I guess it was near the end and they just decided it was easier to just fold it rather than cut it off. So that's kind of cool. A little bit of bonus fabric there. So here I can see how clear this looks. Let me zoom in for you here so you can see. Look at how clear that flower is. So on the first one, it was a little bit tricky at times to tell what was background and what was foreground, but this is very clear. I can see the flowers here. They have kind of that green symbol throughout. And up here, those are very clear. But the butterfly also has this yellow symbol that kind of rings around it. So it's very, very easy to see. I definitely want to work on this one. So it looks like the background is those slanted lines that are the blends there, which makes sense. And they're slanting kind of the opposite that Painting Fairy normally does, but they're slanting in the direction that I do my stitches. So my stitches will actually cover those symbols up nicely with the half cross stitch going that way. So very, very cool. And definitely can see the details here. A little bit of confetti there in the wings, but not too bad with only 48 different symbols in there, so it won't be too difficult. I can see the spots here on the butterfly, so, and the body here, You can see the antenna and another little butterfly here in the background. So really, really pretty. I think the printing looks amazing on this. So really, really good to see that. Oh, no. Trying to get my hand to work here. So bear with me here. There we go. We got it. All right. So looking at the floss here, purple everywhere. We got a purple ribbon, purple floss cards, and purple threads. So looking forward to this. There's our background. With most of these, there's a lot of off-white colors in the background. This looks like 2 different colors here, and it's a lot of it there. And then the main colors here, we got lots of the early DMC numbers, which have all the purples in them. Got a little bit of green and some browns in there as well. Let me turn it this way so you can see the rest. So there's 30, 33, 36, 39, it looks like 42 different colors. So we have 48 symbols, or 49 due to the blends, with 42 different DMC colors there. A lot of the dark browns, just like the other one, a lot of the 3072, very, very pale grayish tan color there. So those are the colors, and again, nice hard floss cards. I'm going to keep the ribbon on there till I'm ready to work on this one, but the ribbon will keep the floss nice and neat. And with all the empty spaces, you can write in, if you've got some blends where you still have some leftover thread, you can put them together on here and write the numbers on there on all these empty spaces. So this one looks promising with not that many colors, so I think it wouldn't be very difficult. So if you're new at full coverage and just want to give one a try, this may be a good one to try out there. So I'm going to put the floss away so I don't get it mixed up. I'll do the rest later, and I think my hubby was sweet offering to be my hands for me on a video, so I may take him up on the offer for putting these away. But there's one last look at that one, and then we're going to take a look at a second one here. I'm doing 2 for this unboxing. I don't want to do too much stress here, but this is one I'm really looking forward to. This is a big one, and trying to remember the cost of these. I think the butterfly wasn't that much. Probably, oh, I hate to guess, maybe in the upper $40 range, maybe lower 50s. This one, however, is in the upper $70 range because this is a really big one. This one is called Cactus Hut Under the Stars. So it's a castle, but full of cactus. So definitely a me thing. I had to get this one. So here we have our pattern, our floss, and our big hunk of fabric. And we do have a couple goodies in this one. These did come together, I think, so I do have another sample here of their painting fairy floss. We got a nice pretty green color here, and a lot of information about the company as well. So all these kits do use their painting fairy cotton floss, which is a DMC equivalent. So it is fully 100% cotton, doesn't fray or bunch up the way the cotton polyester blends are, but it's still very, very affordable at 30 cents a skein before the discount. So if you use any discounts, of course, it's going to be even cheaper. We got 2 here. We got some jasmine and vanilla. And then we do have, I've talked about this in other videos, but I should add one of these into our little giveaway here, because this will give you the conversion there for what the different symbols and stitches mean with the Chinese writing there. If you can't tell what the the key is trying to tell you for the different types of stitches, that will help you do that. So I'm going to put that aside so that we can put it with our little giveaway. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We'll start with our pattern, and I should check, I picked 14 count for this one. So if there aren't too many dark colors, I will go with 14. This one had a little bit in the sky, but not like really dark. So 14 is easier on my eyes, and that's why I go 14 when I can. But for something with a lot of really dark colors, I will go 16 count just for the better coverage. So both 14 and 16 use 2 strands, but 16, the squares are just a little bit smaller, so you get a little bit better coverage with the threads. But here you can see the picture close up without the glare. Isn't that cute? I couldn't resist that one. So Cactus Hut Under the Stars. And this one, because it is bigger, we do have a lot more colors. And this is printed in a light blue. That's different. So we have our symbol guide here that puts the symbols together where you have the same symbol with different colors. So you can see the symbol number 7, there are 5 of them, but one has a yellow background, one has that greenish background, that's a red, so you can tell them apart a little bit easier. So when you look for the symbol, I use this chart on here because I can double check and make sure that I have the right color. And a lot of times if they do have some that look similar, you'll see that the color is quite different from one to the other, and so you can go with what makes sense for your picture. So for example, this one is more of a blue, the other one is more of a dark pink. So whatever makes most sense would also help you distinguish one from the other. But those are pretty clear to me, pretty easy to tell apart. But we do have a lot of different yellow background and blue background symbols on here. Should make it pretty easy to tell. And yes, we do have 2 pages of these, which means there are a lot more colors in this one. I'm seeing numbers like 105, and that may be the highest one I see. Let's take a look. So on this page, you get them in DMC order. And you can see we have single colors here for 1 through 54. And then the blends start at number 55, and there are a lot of blends on this one, all the way to 111. So we have 111 different symbols on this one. A lot more colors to work with. But it is a much bigger image, so that makes sense. So wow, there we go. If you want to see a little hint of the paper pattern and what it looks like there. Now this time we have the diagonal lines go in the direction I'm used to seeing. But I like that they went the other direction on that butterfly. That's kind of cool. I'm going to put these back in order, one-handed. I appreciate you guys being patient with me here. I'm not sure. We'll give it a shot here. Let's see if we can. Ooh, look at the confetti. Let me turn this the right direction here. Looky, looky. We'll start there, and then we'll carefully unfold it here. So we'll look at the top half first. So here we can see the hut or the castle. We've got all the different colors there for the background for the sky. I will do this one in full cross. So this is 329 by 438 stitch count. And this is using the blue color instead of the really dark black color for the backgrounds for like the numbers and everything up here. So it should wash out pretty easily. We've got a nice border all the way around, looks like. At least a few inches there. But definitely confetti in this one, as I expected. So the castle, all the details are out here with that many colors. The sky looks pretty easy. That won't be difficult, but there are definitely a lot more colors going on here in the castle. And we're gonna flip this one. We'll look at it here in 2 halves, and that should work. But here's where all those cactus plants and where all the flowers are here. So a lot of confetti. I can see the door here to our castle and some windows through there. But we've got lots of flowers through here. I can make those out individually. Now let me give you a close-up look here at a little bit of the canvas so you can see. Let's look at the colors. I'm going to go ahead and fold this up. This is the part that I think is going to be fun, and that's looking at all these different shades of green as well as the blue and purple. So if we look again at the picture, if we look in a little bit more detail, we see there's lots of blue shades in the sky. We got lots of yellow here with the stars. That might be a good place to put a little bit of metallic thread there in the stars and the moon. But we also have lots and lots of green and some browns, and then the pinks and the blues here scattered throughout with the flowers. Let's see how that translates to thread colors. So here we go. We've got some of the newer DMC numbers here. We start at number 5 there, 5, 11, 12, 27. So we do have a few of the newer colors there, some of the bright yellows. We've got a little bit of 310 black, but not too much there. I got several of those purplish blues there for the flowers. And then that's where the greens and the browns and the grays come in. And a couple neat shades of pink there. Purple, more greens and browns, and all the blues for the sky. That's a lot of blue there, especially this color for the sky, as well as the light blues there. Some really neon bright greens. And then floss card number 3, so that's 30, 60, 90 here. I got more of the blues. Look at that beautiful blue. A lot more greens and brownish greens, grays, gold colors, and more bright greens. Look at all that. Beautiful, beautiful. So that was 90. Let's see. So this would be 120 if it was full, but it's not, so we subtract here 9. And that gives you the total number of DMCs. So we have lots of pinks here, green, a little bit of rust color there. And look at that pretty color. That's nice. Another pink and another bright blue over here in yellow. So these are going to be a lot of fun colors. So you do have some of the browns there for the building itself, but lots and lots of bright, pretty colors. This is going to be so much fun to do, which gives me the incentive to get my hand better and not use it too much so that you can heal properly, because even though the cuts on the outside don't look big, what they warned me is that the cuts on the inside in my hand are a bit bigger. And I did get to, I was actually awake through the procedure. They gave me a local anesthetic and kind of a little bit of anesthesia to make me feel not too worried about what was going on, but I was still awake because I had to like wiggle my fingers at times and stuff like that. So I did get to see them stick a camera up into my hand. If you've ever wondered about carpal tunnel, because a lot of us that stitch and do crafts probably run into a bit of carpal tunnel at some point. But I got to watch them stick a camera up into my hand and make the slice across. I'm not sure what the part is. It's kind of like a ligament, but not really. So they slice into something that's not really important, that gives a little more space there to allow your nerve. If it does swell up a little bit from use, it gives it more space in there. So it will take a while to heal. So I do have some pretty big cuts on the inside through here, and that's why these fingers are the most numb. And with my thumb, they did the same sort of thing. He actually said that the tendonitis in my thumb was the worst he had seen in a long time. So I definitely did need the surgery for it, but they cut a covering over where the tendons help make my thumb move, and that by freeing up that space in there, same sort of thing, as it swells, there's more room to swell so that I can move my thumb properly. So there is a lot of healing time though. And that was one thing that I thought, I'll be back at it in a week, but no, with all the cuts inside, there's a lot of healing going on the inside. So it'll take a little while, and the worse that your carpal tunnel is, the longer it does take to heal. So we'll get there. But in the meantime, this is what I have for you from Painting Fairy. So check out the links. Beautiful castle, and then our butterfly over here. And don't forget about that giveaway. We will do the giveaway on the 28th and find out who gets the little seal with the toolkit and the little frame from Painting Fairy. So check them out. And also, just a warning, if you are trying to order for the holidays, you might want to get your orders in right away, because they are getting much more popular. So it does take a little bit longer to get your orders in than it used to. So it is taking a little while for some of the orders I've placed in the past. So if you're doing any Christmas gifts, you might want to order them sooner rather than later. So thanks for watching, and I appreciate all your support. I appreciate your patience with me. I don't need to put that in there. What am I doing? I just need the project bag here. So I appreciate your patience with me. I'll be back into it soon, but in the meantime, I'm still practicing stitching with my right hand, so I will have some stitching progress to show. And I haven't tested out diamond painting yet, but I will probably in the next couple days, and probably using my vacuum pen. So I have my vacuum pen from Kato, which requires a lot less pressure to pick up and place the diamonds, so I may try that. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.